Thanks so much. Good morning and welcome to the news. We'll begin on a cheering note, particularly for train users, enthusiasts and businessmen and women who rely on the Abuja-Kaduna rail line for economic activities. Now let's join correspondent Ladi Bala, who will now give us updates.
Accidents of any sort leave behind varying degrees of impact. However, deliberate and proactive steps taken to prevent reoccurrence with a human-face approach make the difference. These underscore the sustained effort of stakeholders in restoring damaged tracks along Abuja-Kaduna route.
The concrete slippers already, so it's just for us now to connect the rails and also insert the fish plates to connect at both ends.
They are doing very well and we've achieved a lot, and I'm really impressed with the kind of work they are doing.
The level of the work is okay. There is no problem because the way we handle it right from the beginning up to this extent is very good.
The mobilization of critical stakeholders, machines and technical personnel for the evacuation of coaches and locomotives, and now the almost completion of repairs to the damaged tracks demonstrates the commitment and determination of the Nigerian Railway Corporation to restore Nigerians' hope in the sector.
Specifically, laying of the track, that is to assure fitness for traffic at the site here, is 90% completed. So the other 10% we can do in the next week. For us, we will have declared the line fit for operations by the time we would have checked the line for this safety audit we're talking about.
The site shows no sign of train derailment, only relentless workers laying sleepers, rails and related materials, as well as unheard echo of hope of restoration of train services lingering in the air. From the Kaduna-Abuja train derailment scene, Ladibala, NTA News.
All right, let's tell you that the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has warned non-state actors undermining peace and stability of Nigeria that there would be no hiding place for them. The NSA gave the warning in a message to the graduation ceremony of a special squad of the Nigeria Forest Security Service, which held at the Police Mobile Force Training College, Ilaorogun, in Osun State. Femi Afariogun reports.
Recognizing the place of forest in the security architecture of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu established Nigerian Forest Security Service. In his message to the first graduation of the special squad of the service, comprising of vigilantes, civilian joint task force, and hunters, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, believes they have what it takes to stem the tide of banditry, kidnapping, and insurgency in the forest.
The successes recorded so far by our security forces are evidence that Nigeria is determined to reclaim every space and restore law and order. Today's graduation is a further statement of intent, showing that the government will deny criminals the cover they seek in our forest.
The special squad of 616 personnel drawn from the northeast, northwest, and north central have been trained for 12 weeks.
That with the level of what we have achieved, we are going to have a saga in this issue of terrorism, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and even rescue of kidnapped victims.
We all draw them from their various places where they belong. So we are all training them and returning them back to those areas that they are already familiar with. So they are good to go.
We have been fighting insurgency without enough support. We appreciate this training from President Tinubu's government. God bless him.
Those who stood out during the training were given awards, a spur for the task ahead. From the Police Mobile Force Training College, Ilaorogun, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
The Kebbi State APC caucus in the National Assembly has refuted allegations by former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, that Governor Nasser Idris is engaging in secret arms deal. Addressing National Assembly correspondents in Abuja, the caucus, led by Senator Adamu Aliero, also dismissed as false Malami's recent petition to security agencies, alleging that Kebbi State's governor is importing political thugs and recruiting foreign mercenaries in the state. The caucus members expressed solidarity with the Kebbi State's governor's commitment to peace and development in the state, describing the former Attorney General's claims as politically motivated.
Recent condolence visit to Benin Kebbi. He hired thugs from Sokoto, Koko, and Rara to accompany him into the state capital. These thugs, under his watch, attacked the APC state secretariat with stones while chanting one-term slogan against the governor. Their actions led to a violent clash with APC supporters, an unprecedented development in Kebbi politics, which has always been known for its peaceful nature and culture and mutual respect. This incident alone speaks volumes about who is truly attempting to sow chaos and disrupt the peace of our dear state. At no time had the Kebbi State government nor the APC family been involved in clandestine activities or linked with terrorist groups, as mischievously signed personally by former Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
The National Forum of former legislators from the 17 southern states have endorsed President Bola Tinubu as their sole presidential candidate for the 2027 general elections and declared support for the South to complete 8 years presidential tenure. This was at a summit which held in Abeokuta, Ogun State, with the theme National Unity, Bedrock of Nation Building, convened by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Yemi Dalimo tells us more.
The summit is a reunion for former National and State Assembly legislators. We provided a platform for them to add their voices to issues of national discourse. Chief of Staff to the President and former Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, among other key stakeholders, notes that nation building is a joint task, urging all to join hands with President Bola Tinubu to transform Nigeria.
There's still a lot of work to be done. However, you must not let anyone tell you that we are not steadily marching forward. Our task remains to continue in that forward march with determination and humility.
As a body, we are committed to issues that will promote the peace, unity of our dear country and also entrench democracy.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, former speakers of the House of Representatives, and others commended the innovative reforms of government.
Asiwaju must complete his 8 years. Nigeria is rising again.
Testament to the world of what unity in diversity can truly accomplish. A united and prosperous Nigeria is possible.
It's a very good opportunity and time for the legislators to put our house in order.
It's in the best interest of the South and the nation that the incumbent president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, completes his tenure of the South. Accordingly, we adopt him as our sole candidate for 2027 election.
The National Forum of former legislators urged Nigerians to promote national unity and firm foundation of nation building. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the second ECOWAS conference on Lassa fever has ended in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, with a commitment to advance quickly recommendations on upscaling the activities of the Regional Center for Disease Surveillance and forge a common agenda on vaccine development for effective management and control of the Lassa fever scourge in the sub-region. Kelvin Ehonwaye reports.
4 days of intense conversations
Scientific presentations on diverse areas of Lassa fever research and evaluation of disease surveillance patterns by a gathering of over 500 scientists and policymakers have now put member states of ECOWAS on a better footing to not only design a better Lassa fever response strategy, but the establishment of a regional policy and action plan to combat the impact of the disease, seen as one of the most devastating health challenges in the sub-region. Now referred to as the Abidjan Momentum, the framework also encompasses a place for traditional medicine research and application for the control of the disease.
Expected resolutions will guide our policy framework on tackling Lassa fever control. We at WAO will continue to support the national and regional efforts aimed at building resilience of our communities against infectious diseases.
Of significant note at the conference was the activation of ECOWAS Young Researchers Platform, designed to encourage and support new generation of researchers in Lassa fever and other infectious diseases, with Nigeria's Aziz Moshood shining brightly and clinching the top prize in Best Porter category.
What I'm taking home now is that there's a need for us to go back to our labs to work on RDTs, which means rapid diagnostic test kits for Lassa, because to diagnose Lassa as a medical lab scientist, to diagnose Lassa takes a day, 2 days, 3 days. We need point of care testing where a patient will be presented to the lab and they will be able to know exactly immediately that this patient has Lassa.
How do we make sure that the solutions that we're creating are really coming from the region, and that regional colleagues, national colleagues, whether with the universities or research institutions, are not working in silo or are not just beneficiaries, but they're actually co-designers of the solutions we're creating. So those are a mix of challenges, but also solutions for the disease.
Before the next conference, it is expected that a lot would have been achieved and implemented from the resolutions here, with firm focus on vaccine development. In Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, Kelvin Ebonwaye, NTA News.
And that's the morning news. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Weekend deal continues, but that'll be after this moment. Stay tuned.